Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
I am that dude, Bodkins. Patty to patty. That's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy. Give a big round of applause for the one and only Bodkin Show. I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of the Bodkins Show. I am that dude, Bodkins, of course. Welcome. It is a lovely Thursday night. So we are back better than ever. If you missed it this past Sunday, please check out the guys from We're Just Fans podcast. They came on Sunday. We had a fantastic time. It was a wild time. Carlos, Rios, and Poppy all joined me. We talked all things Houston sports. It was a fun time, wild time. We went down some wild paths, so it was a great time. Enjoyed those guys. Monday night, we had Bodkins and Buffoon, so if you missed that, please check that out as well. Me and Tanner, Jonathan Grishman, and Jim Behringer all joined the show as well. Enjoyed the show, had a good time Monday, and we are now back here Thursday night. We're going to talk a little NFL playoffs. We're going to talk a little UFC, a little bit of everything. Going to have some new guests, some old guests. You know how it is. And speaking, who I got to bring in joining me every time this week is my main man, Johnny Cruz. Johnny, what's up, my man? How you doing?
What's up, man? I'm always looking forward to this show, man. It's always a good time, bro. I appreciate you having me on, like always.
It is. I appreciate you always joining me as well. I know you had the second episode of the Johnny Cruz Show. Talk to me. How would that go?
That was actually a lot of fun. Shout out to Mr. First Down. He is, you know who he is. He is definitely a character. It was cool to chat with him, to get to know him a little better. So yeah, episode 2, Mr. First Down, Tennessee Titan fan, Tennessee resident, Tennessee volunteer. A good dude, man. A funny dude. And yeah, it was nice getting to know him a little bit, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, check out Mr. First Down on Twitter. He is all things Titans. He came on the show a couple times a couple weeks ago. Good guy to have. Mm-hmm. Johnny, I hope Mr. First Down's a guy that can uplift spirits, and I know your spirits had to have been somewhat. We got to talk about this Dolphins-Bills game. I thought it was going to be a blowout, Johnny. I mean, all due credit to the Dolphins for sticking around. That defense, we said they had to steal some things, but at the end of the day, it was Skylar Thompson at quarterback, and there were some problems there. Talk to me about your feelings on this Dolphins-Bills game.
Yeah, they definitely exceeded my expectations. I mean, I'm not going to front. I was right there with you thinking that the Dolphins would probably get blown out. But no, I mean, a divisional game, the defense came to play. So I'm good with the, you never want to lose the game, but I'm good with the effort. The guys really played hard for the coach, so that was a good sign. And I mean, the defense stepped up, made some good plays. I mean, it wasn't good enough to save the DC's job, but it was a good effort. Maybe if Skylar makes an extra play or two, maybe we get, make it a little more interesting there. But I guarantee you there were a lot of tight buttholes in that Buffalo Stadium, boy, because they was getting nervous, man. They can say all they want now, but I know they was nervous at the time, boy.
I mean, you're exactly right. It was. I mean, the Dolphins had a lead late in the fourth quarter or so. At times, and you just felt like, man, how many turnovers is Josh Allen going to have here? We'll talk about the Bengals Bills here a little bit later on in the show, but they've got to be worried. The Dolphins, as a Dolphins fan, I think you got to feel pretty good at what transpired last weekend. Hey, we gave it our best shot. We didn't get blown out. I mean, me and you both picked the Bills to win that game. Craig was the only one that had Miami covering, so he was spot on the money.
Yeah, he was, man. Like I said, I'm definitely Happy with the effort, happy that they represented and played hard. It's a little frustrating because you get teased because they're right there, and it looks like, man, we might actually pull this off. And then some coaching mistakes and some Skyler being a 7th round pick, made a couple mistakes, missed a couple guys, but it was definitely like I said, they represented well. So I'm happy with the effort, happy with the team. Overall, I'm good with the season. Yeah, you want to go further, but I'm saying we made the playoffs for the first time in 6 years. So some of these young guys, including the coach, got a little playoff experience, so they got a little taste of it. So hopefully they come back, hungrier next season and make a longer run.
You alluded to some coaching mistakes. Talk to me about that. I mean, there's a whole just the delay of game or not getting in the play clock. Is that on McDaniel? Is that on Skylar Thompson? What was the problem there?
I mean, it's a combination of things, to be quite honest, but it's honestly been an issue. I'm not saying all season, but several times throughout the season.
It's going to be more highlighted, right? Like you're saying it happened all season, but from the outside, the fan, we don't know that, but you watch every snap, every play, so you're going to see that where it's more highlighted because it's the playoffs on national primetime.
Right, and that was, I'm saying, that's the one part of it that really sucks is that, I'm saying, like you made that big goof on national TV in the playoffs, I'm saying, so that sucks, but hopefully it's a learning experience for him. Like I said, it's been a bit of an issue throughout the season, and it is a complex offense, and there is a lot of motions and stuff that go into it. So between the coach being a rookie coach, and then you got a rookie quarterback, we had 2 new offensive linemen. So I mean, literally like off the street. So Teron Armstead was literally telling the left guard what he had to do each play. So there were a lot of things that went into it, but like I said, hopefully it's a learning experience and they get better from there.
What do the Dolphins got to do next year to take that next step, do you think?
Well, I think as much as I hate to see somebody get fired, but I think it was the right move to get let go of Josh Boyer. At the time when Mike McDaniel kept him, I understood the whole continuity with the defense because the defense had played well the last couple of years, but that was a Brian Flores defense. You know what I mean? So you could tell that Brian Flores was not there coaching that team this year, and it was just some mistakes. Yes, we had a bunch of injuries on the defensive side, but some of his defensive calls just made absolutely no sense. One in particular was against the Chargers right before the half. We got him at 3rd and 17, 3rd and goal from the 17-yard line, and say you have all your defenders back at the goal line. So gave up an easy screen to get down to the 1, and then of course they go for the 4th down and they make it and score a touchdown going into the half. So not to say that they would have won the game, but there was just a lot of those calls throughout the season. So I think Mike McDaniel needs a more experienced DC because there's definitely players on this defense. So we need a coach that I think can pull out the best out of this defense and kind of get them up to, because you can't have the 25th ranked defense and you got almost a top 10 offense. So it's got to be kind of balanced a little while. So I know everybody's throwing Vic Fangio out there, and I understand the connection with Mike McDaniel and stuff, but
him and Sean Payton going someplace together.
Yeah,
I feel
that's what I'm figuring. So I'm hoping. There's been a lot of names thrown out there. Raheem Morris from the Rams, and some other ones. But I'm hoping they holler at Lovey. You know what I'm saying? Lovey's got head coach experience. He's definitely a great DC. I think he'll be a perfect fit for this Miami defense, and Chubb, Jalen Phillips, Christian Wilkins. Like I said, we got players there, man. So it's just a matter of the right scheme for them and the right voice in their ears. And I think the defense will be a lot better next year.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. They're going to have to get a backup quarterback. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with Tua. Offensively, they got everything. I felt like. I want to ask you, the defense, were you surprised that a lot of times it was one-on-one coverage, a lot on the outside that allowed them big bombs? I mean, they were going just, full blaze, I mean, several times in that game in big spots. One-on-one on the outside, we're going to try to get to the quarterback, we're going to try to get to Josh, and Josh would just throw, absolute bombs. And then Diggs or Davis, they would just go out and make some catches. Were you okay with that type of defense?
Not really. And again, that's part of what I was talking about as far as like some of the calls that he would make. We were depleted in the secondary. X has been playing with pulled groins most of the season. Byron Jones was MIA all season. He never, he never came back from the off-season surgery. Nick Needham tore an ACL. Trill Williams tore an ACL. Brandon Jones, our young stud safety, who honestly a lot of people don't realize how good he is and how good he complements Javon Holland, because he frees up Javon Holland to be able to move around a lot more. This season he had to play a lot more center field because Brandon Jones was hurt. So we were down to like our 5th, 6th, and 7th corners. So I understand that you're an aggressive defense, but at the same time, you gotta mix it up a little bit. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if they go to some type of a zone type defense more this season. I mean, we'll see what happens, but yeah, we definitely need a backup quarterback, like you said, somebody that can actually win a game. Not like Teddy, who just I don't think.
Teddy never even played. I mean, that's the thing. He would play 5 minutes and then he'd get hurt. You know,
I don't think he wanted to play, to be quite honest, man. He just collected a check, but good for him or whatever. But yeah, we definitely need a solid backup because unfortunately, you can figure at least 2-3 games Tua's gonna miss, man. I mean, you hope he doesn't, but you got to have somebody there that you can actually win a game or two with. And then this offensive line needs to be solidified. Like I mentioned it as soon as they drafted Tua. If you're gonna take this kid with the injury history, you need to make sure you got a brick wall in front of him. They took a shot with Austin Jackson and Liam Eichenberg, and I like the moves they made this season with Connor Williams and Teron Armstead, but I think Chris Grier needs to realize that he ain't all that good at drafting linemen. So go ahead and pay the linemen in free agency, get a couple more studs in there to help protect Tua, and I think we'll be good to go. We need a back too, man. Draft a back or something.
Landez says, great show, guys. Can't wait to see what we have on hand. Johnny, sorry about the Dolphins. Hell of a beat. Yep. So, so that was the AFC side. I mean, we'll get some more to talk a little bit more about that, but we got to switch it to the NFC side as we got coming on our very first guest. 49ers second half just absolutely turned it on and beat the brakes out of the Seahawks. First half close. Second half, whole different ball game. This kid, Brock Purdy, continues to play well. And to talk about big cock, Brock, welcome back to the show, the lovely Gina.
Hey, guys.
What's going on?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me back.
Always. First of all, how you been since the last time we talked? What's been going on?
Well, I think the last time I was here, I was on a different channel, and now I have my own channel.
That's right. Go ahead, give that shout out. Where can people catch you at?
Well, it's called Gina Reppin' the Bay Productions, and you can just Google Gina Reppin' the Bay, and you'll find it, actually. Just type that into YouTube, and I'll come up. So I do NFL, focus more on 49ers, but I've got my hosts are not just 49er fans. We do NFC South, but we talk all NFL. I mean, matchups, right? And we just started doing NBA content. So because I'm Bay Area, we do Warriors, but we also talk, matchups. So we do also anyone the Warriors are going to face, right? So Western Conference and Eastern Conference matchups.
So, Gina, the last time you came on, you got a little rift between your 49ers and talking about Jimmy G. And, I
got a little heat for that.
I mean,
from my fan base, too.
Yeah, my Twitter was blowing up because, from the comments you made. But here we are. I had to bring you on to talk about Big Cock Brock.
Yeah, Big Cock Brock, BCB.
You would know more about Big Cock Brock than a lot of other people. So what is going on with this kid? Why is this kid so damn good? I mean, I watched him a little bit at Iowa State. I knew who he was coming out of college because I'm a Hawkeye fan. We play Iowa State every year. So I knew who Brock Purdy was.
Yeah.
And I think going into his senior year, he was actually graded higher than where he was drafted. And then he just for whatever reason, last year and a half just plummeted down the draft boards. What makes this kid so damn good, and how is he continuing to play so well? Is it the system? Is it the kid? Because this is now, just quarterback after quarterback, and the 49ers aren't missing a damn beat, and maybe look better with big cock Brock back there than they do with Jimmy.
I'll be honest, it's got to be Kyle's system. And at the same time, Kyle has probably found the quarterback of his dreams. We all know that that his type of quarterback is like a pocket passer quarterback. So he was very fond of like a Matt Ryan, a Kirk Cousins type. And so that's why they always stuck with Jimmy. And, if you even look back to like CJ Beathard, we drafted him, right? Yeah. And he was supposed to be our sort of, next franchise quarterback. And then that just didn't really work out. I mean, we even, Nick Mullins was good for a minute, like a hot minute, but that didn't work out. His turnover ratio was really high and everything like that. He had like that one great game against the Raiders, like Monday Night Football and everything. But Brock has brought more than just one great game.
And that's what I thought that's what we were going to see, right? Like, we'll give the kid a game. Nobody's seen the kid on tape. And it's like game after game after game. We're like 5 games in here.
Continuing to impress us.
Yes, right?
Right. So, he comes in during the Dolphins game, right? And the Dolphins game was supposed to be, there's Johnny, where, it's Tua against Jimmy. Jimmy gets hurt. And here comes our, Niner fans are sitting there going, okay, great. Here we go. This is it. The rest of the season's over. I mean, I was thinking that. We've got Tua, and I'm a big fan of Tua, okay? And I'm thinking, can our defense basically carry the season? It's a little hard to believe that could actually happen. Right now, our defense is so good that you can rely on the offense and the defense to win games. Like you could do one or the other, basically, right? And when they're in sync, you can win a game and blow teams out. But when Brock came in for the Dolphins to save the day, you're like, okay, well, now what can we do, right? And, going against the GOAT, going against, even the Commanders, and I know the Raiders, that wasn't supposed to be what it was, but it turns out New Year's Eve is the night before, hungover,
Jared Stidham had him a game.
We have no tape on him, and he came from the same offense as the Patriots, because of McDaniels, right? Yep. So, which, by the way, I think Brady's going to go there, since he knows the system. But now, Shanahan has a quarterback that he's feeling like maybe. I think in the back of his mind, he's probably like, is this too good to be true? Or have I just found my, boy genius, like someone I could, like my golden child, because things, he showed great poise. That's the word going around. Poise. The kid scrambles out of the pocket and tries to make a throw into the end zone to Brandon Ayuk, who could have caught it. It was a dime, right? And Brandon's even like, I owe you one. So, who is this kid, right? Like, I don't watch much college ball, but from what I've heard, and obviously what you've said, he looks to be like the real deal. Like what me as a diehard fan who's only grown up seeing a lot of Joe Montana, Steve Young, 2 freaking Hall of Famers, and putting all our hopes in every single quarterback. Alex Smith getting drafted, bullshit quarterbacks like Jim Druckenmiller. What the fuck were we doing? Drafting him, right? Like Blaine Gabbert, like fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like just
Jeff Garcia had a nice little run. I mean,
Jeff Garcia was good. He was the last guy we had before Jimmy G that gave us that oomph.
Yeah. I mean, Kaepernick had a year and a half run,
And there's Cap, but we didn't have it long enough.
Yeah.
So
there's small blemishes. Even Smith's best ball as a 49er was only like a year and a half,
right. And then Cap took over.
And then it was a year and a half of like Kaepernick. So they've just been searching since.
Right. It's like I need a couple years of stability. Jeff Garcia had a hot wife.
Well, let me get in on here real quick, if you don't mind, Gina. Congratulations, first of all, on the network. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. Doing big things. I'm happy for you.
Thank you, John.
You mentioned it about Brock Purdy. I saw some Iowa State. I mean, the kid definitely has poise. He has that swag too, where he's not afraid to make some plays. And he's athletic enough that I think that's exactly what I think Kyle wanted. He wanted a little bit more than what you were talking about with the Matt Ryan and Kirk Cousins. He likes a guy that can win in the pocket, but the fact that he can do bootlegs and stuff like that, like what his dad did with guys up in Denver.
John Elway.
John Elway.
Right.
And, the kid from Arizona State.
Jake Plummer.
Jake Plummer. You know what I'm saying? He was athletic enough to where they can do the bootleg and stuff like that. So the kid is playing well. Your defense is top notch. You got one of the best offensive lines and some skill players. Like, how much of a run does this kid have to do for him to like really take over for Trey Lance, to where San Francisco would just move off of Trey Lance? Or are they going to Trey regardless?
Johnny, I was trying to build up I was trying to pregame the oven. Johnny just says sticks it right in and gets right through the. You
already got the oven all warmed up, bro. You had the oven all ready to go. You know what I'm saying?
It's all preheat. Right. So you want to go there now? Talk about Trey
I'm just curious. I mean, because
that's
gotta be playing the way he is. Like, how do you make a change?
That's also the common hot topic conversation. I'm just putting my phone here because I had the Warriors game going just to see who wins. Not like I'm watching it or anything, but it's like this. What we talk about on my channel, someone's like, hey, you know what? If Brock wins the Super Bowl and, Super Bowl MVP and everything like that, I mean, this is a long time coming. Haven't won since 94, right?
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, my.
Bye, Trey. You know what I'm saying?
Bye, Trey. You gave up the farm to get the kid. I mean, what was it? 3 first-round picks prior to this season. I mean, you guys were Gina, you were on the show 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago.
No, not by trade, like trade him, like second, like backup, not buy. Jimmy's buy, but like backup. That's what I meant.
Trey's the backup to Brock.
Huh?
Trey's the backup to Brock is what you're saying.
Yes. If he wins Super Bowl MVP,
I just think you you invested so much into Trey Lance to make him a backup quarterback. I mean, that's 3 first-round picks. That's what I'm saying.
Right. It's a tough thing for us to digest, to us to even think about as fans. Thank God I'm not in the front office, because I would hate to be put in that position. Another co-host of mine says, let's just cross that bridge when we get there, which I get, because, it's just like games. It's one game at a time.
I will say this to me, and we didn't get to see enough of Trey Lance, but to me,
right,
this team has rallied around this kid. I mean, George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk, I feel like they're out there making plays for this. And not that they weren't making plays for other guys, but you just see it, right? Like, you see it like hey, sometimes it's just a motherfucking dude in the huddle.
Brock's just throwing the guys.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing, is like we believe in this guy. There's a certain swag or a thing about him that guys just follow. Hey, we're willing to go to battle with this guy. And I'm not saying I didn't see that with Jimmy, and we don't know if we didn't get enough of Trey Lance because there was a game and a half. In one game was a monsoon game to even see if that was going to happen.
Yeah, right.
So we don't know, but we do. What I will say is, it seems like they're like, hey, this guy is a motherfucking dude. And and they're rallying behind him, much like you look at the Jets situation where they rallied behind Mike White and were like, don't ever
Right.
even put Zach Wilson back in this freaking huddle again.
And I
it's
was
not that way with Jimmy,
yeah.
but I'm just saying that's what
Right.
I see.
I was actually like surprised about like the whole Zach Wilson thing. I was like, I don't really keep up on too many Jets games. I'm like, but that sure turned quickly. I'm like, what did he do that was so bad? I'm like, I know he's in his second year, but goddamn. But you know, and with Trey, I mean, he's so green that like you can't really tell how good. I mean, unless the talent's there, but you can't really tell or get a good feel on a quarterback until like 3-4 seasons, you know?
Well, here's what I say about Trey too. By the time he actually plays, it'll be about 4 seasons since he's really played football.
Because he hasn't had much college playing time.
No, he played in college full time. 2019, 2020 he sat out due to COVID. Got drafted his rookie season. He didn't play what? He played 3 games maybe, I think. Did he play 3 games?
I don't even think he played
start
He only
3 or 4
started
games.
one.
Okay. Then this year starts 1 game and he gets hurt. So, I mean, the last time he saw real football was way back in 2019, and we're going to be on 2023, 2024. And he played at North Dakota State. It's not cream of the crop here.
Right. Yeah. So
I think if it's the scenario that Gina just put out there, if the kid wins a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP, that's a different discussion. Then, I mean, Trey's only going to be going into his 3rd season, so you have him under contract for pretty cheap. I mean, I think you obviously bring him into camp and see what happens. But, I mean, if they get stalled in the playoffs and Purdy kind of comes back down to reality and doesn't play that well, then I think you just let them compete in the offseason and see what happens. But I mean, the Purdy kid definitely has something about him, and like you said, Nick, I mean, you can see that the guys are rallying behind him. So, I mean, it's a cool story, and it's interesting to see. Like I said, if he goes on to win a Super Bowl MVP, sorry, Trey, you know what I'm saying? Like she said, sorry, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you can compete to be a backup, and they can probably get something. You're not going to get 3 first-round picks for him, but they can probably get something for him. But if you win a Super Bowl MVP, bro, he ain't going nowhere, bro. Purdy's gonna you know what I'm saying? He done.
I mean, sometimes shit's expensive to try out.
Yeah.
Is Super Bowl or bust for this 49ers team?
I think the cost of everything is worth that. Like CMC, you know, for me, this is like, if we don't win it, what the fuck were we trying so hard? We're 11-0 since Kansas City.
That was CMC's first game, right? Or was that their first game? His
first game, but there was a small package put together for him.
But I mean, like, that wasn't even like he didn't have the full week, right?
Right.
So you haven't lost a game since he came
to the team Thursday and played Sunday.
Right.
And he was he hasn't. You guys haven't lost since, correct?
Correct.
So to me, like, and I've said this, like, we can talk about your guy Big Cock Brock all we want, but CMC was the season saver. Like that
trade of the year.
Yeah, that trade alone, because even, I mean, there was plays Brock is rolling all the way out to the left, looking, and then he just finds CMC and dumps it down to he's wide open or he runs it in. And at that point in time, I mean, the kid, as long as he's staying healthy, they're drawing up plays. That to go get him, set themselves apart, I felt like, in the NFC.
Yeah, and I think that's why partially, if, you know, getting him, we have no fucking reason to not win. He's such a game changer. And the number 1 defense for so many weeks, even coming off, because like when we came back in, you know, having our guys come off injury into the Kansas City game, everyone, you know, these fucking Cowgirls fans are like, oh, you got destroyed by the Chiefs. I've been fighting with them all day and everything. And I'm like, we had just gotten Trent off injury. We had just gotten Bosa off injury. Countless others. Like Jimmy Ward came back with a club on his arm, was playing one-handed. Like, dude, don't even go there. You know, CMC had just gotten, like, he was in for like 12 plays probably. Like, we were not us. So ever since then, 11 win streak. So, and every team after that, even like if you want to call Kansas City being on a bye, we were like 15-0 with all the teams that had gone on a losing streak. So every team had lost the week after playing us.
Yeah, they definitely did something to everybody.
Yeah.
We wound up losing 5 in a row
defeated.
after that.
They were like,
Yeah.
oh.
But I mean, I think that was probably one of the best trades. It's going to go down in history as probably one of the best trades because people don't realize how good he is, man. Like he was hidden in Carolina, and they were running him into the ground, which is why he got the last couple of years he's had injuries. I mean, Kyle is the perfect coach to have a weapon like that, bro, because he's the closest thing to Marshall Faulk that I have seen, bro. And Marshall Faulk was awesome. So I mean, that's a perfect weapon for Kyle. So yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's Buffalo, San Francisco in the Super Bowl, and you know, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Bowl. Yeah. Yes, it would be. Nice.
They were running him into the ground at Carolina.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
I want to get your thoughts on last week's games, and we'll talk about this week's game with the Cowboys. What were your thoughts against Seattle? I mean, that was a close first half. I mean, Seattle was at 1 point lead at halftime.
Yeah, I think they were leading by 3. I believe. That was like, I was pissed off. I was screaming at the TV. My mom was even louder than me. It was just not comfortable. I just, at first you want to go to say, okay, was this some playoff jitters for Brock and what was going on? Why were there, there was like an Ayuk drop pass or something. Another drop, or maybe he just didn't hit the guy. I think it was Debo. It just wasn't good looks. And like, why are you throwing so shitty, and then Kyle Shanahan apparently said to them, hey, look, it's up to you guys how you want to go out looking like. Do you want to finish this game going, this is how we ended our season? Like this is what you want to be known for, this game, looking like this. And so that, ignited something. And then even like when they Abrams twisted Debo's ankle. I mean, that was a dirty ass shitty, move. But it ignited something in Debo and the whole team, and so they were just like, you don't do that, And after that, it's kind of went off, and defense just took it personally. So, yeah, I mean.
They did. And I think, to me, I saw Brock Purdy, he could have went 2 ways that game, too. Like, he really persevered when it was like, man, he's just not having this game. Is it playoff jitters where he's not playing that great? But the second half, it was like, oh, okay, now he's got it going and got that rhythm going. And it could go either with with rookie quarterbacks in their first playoff experience. You just never know how it's gonna play out. Right. And I am still kind of waiting. And some reason I haven't picked the 49ers to win this thing is because I'm still kind of waiting for that other shoe to drop for this kid, because there's a reason rookie quarterbacks have never won the Super Bowl or even been to a Super Bowl. Right. So I'm still waiting for that to happen.
Well, Burrow went to the Super Bowl.
That was his second year.
Right, it was the second year. The other thing, though, too, is
really?
Yeah, he tore his
ACL.
You're right.
You're right. Yeah. That's right.
But the thing is, no other rookie had a team like this, bro.
That's
you
true.
Know what I'm saying?
That's true. Your rookie usually on a bad team.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a Super Bowl contending team with everything, a top offensive line, a number one defense, all these weapons, and an offensive-minded head coach. Like, it seems like all the makings for a perfect storm, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And you'll say that as hard as it is for me to say, seriously, San Francisco and Buffalo, like, come on now. You know what I'm saying? But facts are facts, man. Like I said, I think if you get by Dallas this week, I don't think you lose next week, regardless if it's Philly or the Giants. I don't think it matters.
Yeah, let's talk about this Cowboys 49ers game. Gina, what's your initial thoughts here? What do the 49ers got to do to win this game?
Basically, we need to be aggressive in the secondary, the pass rush, because that's one of the areas where, for me, I get concerned because you don't want to blow coverages in the pass rush. Our middle linebackers are, amazing. Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, Aziz Al-Shire, they're amazing. Of course, you got Nick Bosa and Armstead and all those guys in the front, for the front seven. So I'm not worried about that, but it's just our secondary that I kind of, I don't want to get burned. You know what I'm saying? And then we also, because to be honest, I'm not really worried about like CD Lamb. I was kind of downplayed Dalton Schultz. I'm like, yeah, he's overrated, but I know he does get his plays. So, I guess we got to worry about him a little bit. But yeah, we just keep attacking Dak. He's gonna throw those INTs. He had, a great game against a shitty team last week, right? Or not last week, but Monday
night.
So, he's not going to have 4 TDs in a game and over 300 yards again on a short week. So I guarantee that we're going to be on his ass. There's going to be a forced fumble. There's going to be some, at least 1 or 2 INTs guaranteed. So our defense.
Where's your mallet, Nick? Where's the mallet? He's locking it in, bro.
Are you worried? Are you worried about the Cowboys defense? Because Micah Parsons and that defense is no joke. I think Micah Parsons is an absolute game wrecker. I love the 49ers defense. I saw it, and we'll talk about the next question because I saw you tweeting it out or answered a tweet, and I was like, I don't know, but Micah Parsons, that Cowboys defense, are you worried about them?
I'll say this. I think the only best guys they have on their team are Micah Parsons and Tony Pollard. Parsons is really good. He is. I can't take anything away from him. He had defensive rookie of the year,
probably
2
could
years
be
ago?
defensive player of the year. I mean, with Bosa or Bosa, we'll talk about that in just a second.
We'll see. He's very good. I'm not going to take anything away from him. I'd be a fool to. And Tony Pollard is very good. He's going to be, he's already RB1 for them. So, and I think he will, cement that for a while because I think Zeke is just trash. He's not what he used to be. But I think Micah will not be able to stop Debo. We got Debo. So, and Kittle. Kittle just looks at you and laughs and goes like that and just keeps running. Debo was once on record saying, I figured why not keep moving because they barely, take me down. He goes, and it works. So that's just how Kittle operates, and Debo's just fast. And CMC, he's pretty good. He's not the fastest, but he's decently fast, right? I've seen how we are with a Jalen Ramsey, and Jalen Ramsey's not really a factor, so I'm not too scared about Parsons. I'm not saying he's not going to do anything. He might get us a couple times, but he's not going to win the game for them.
There was a tweet out, and I think you answered this. You replied to this tweet, and I can't for the next 10 years. Are you taking Bosa or Parsons? And Johnny, I want you to chime in with this question too. Are you taking Joey Bosa or are you taking Micah Parsons for the next 10 years?
You want me to answer that first?
You go ahead. I'm over here laughing. I think we already know her answer.
Right. And I really, really, really like Bosa, and I respect Bosa. The family has lineage going back to the Dolphins, so you know what I'm saying, I'm a Bosa fan. But Micah Parsons is a different dude, yo. He is like a different beast, and he can actually wreck a game on his own. I don't know that he will be able to this game strictly because of the offensive line. Like that's one of the best offensive lines in football.
Trent Williams is still one of the best tackles in this league.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So between the offensive line that's as good as they are and all the weapons, it's possible he may pressure Purdy enough to where Purdy might make a mistake or two, but if for the next 10 years, he's a little younger too. He doesn't have the injury history, so I would go with Micah. I would go with Micah on this one.
Understandable. I mean, I can't hate on it,
Go ahead, Gina. We'll let you make a case for your guy, Joey Bosa.
9% body fat.
That don't mean nothing. Hulk Hogan had 9% body fat at one point in time.
The guy is a machine. I mean, to come back after an ACL tear, and he should have won Comeback Player of the Year, but anyway, I'm biased. Man, he almost broke our franchise record for sacks in a season, which was held by Aldon Smith back in 2012.
Yeah, 20 or 19 and a half.
He had 19 and a half. Bosa's just one away from that with 18 and a half. So 2 years off of ACL. I mean, that's just phenomenal. So, call me a fucking homer. I don't care. That's my, case, and I'm sticking to it.
If you watch the show, I'm a big Micah Parsons guy, and I'll take Micah. I just think that I'll take the linebacker over the defensive end 9 out of 10 times. They just do a little bit more, can get to
He's more versatile. I get it.
He is more versatile.
Yeah.
Both Bosas got some injury history as well. I know this is only year 2 for Micah Parsons, but give me Micah Parsons for over the next 10 years. Both of them, on their trajectory could possibly end in the Hall of Fame. But, we still got to figure that out as long as injuries don't riddle both of those guys. I'm just saying trajectory-wise. Let's get into it. 49ers are favored by 4 here on the last game. It's the last game of the weekend. That's Sunday night. Johnny, who do you like here? 49ers, Cowboys in this with the 49ers.
I'm taking San Francisco. I'm riding with Gina and her 49ers. Like I said, I see them in the Super Bowl with Buffalo. Like I said, maybe Philly might give them a game, but I don't think. I mean, Dallas won their one game in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? They got past Tampa Bay, the game that I mentioned that they had to win that game. So they won that game. I'm not the biggest Dak fan. I mean, he played a great game. Props to him. But against a top-rated defense like this, I don't see him going off like that. They better run the ball with Tony Pollard and company, because don't think Dak is just going to fling it all over the place against his D. But I think San Francisco is just going to be too much. Like I said, unless Micah goes nuts and Brock Purdy turns the ball over a couple times, but I don't see that happening. I think Kyle will stick to the running game. And I think San Francisco wins by at least a touchdown in this game.
Gina, what's your preview here for the Cowboys 49ers?
I think it's going to be probably about 10 points Niners. Yeah, it's not going to be a blowout for sure. Unless the Niners get hot in the second half, because we saw that in the Seahawks game. But I still think these are two very good teams. So I don't like saying, unless we were playing the Cardinals in Mexico City, I did call that a blowout. But I don't think this is going to be a blowout. We did play each other in the wild card last year, and we were up 27. I believe
it was you guys. Yeah, it was wild card. Then he came to Green Bay.
In the third quarter, and so we should have not let them score very high the next quarter. So that was on us. And Jimmy did throw a pick, but whatever. This will be the true test for Purdy, the ultimate test. Mm-hmm. So I think, Nick, you're going to get your for sure on this, because if he can beat Dallas, and then you'll know if we can go all the way with Purdy, you know? And at Dallas, all they have to do is I think Dak is going to have to pass to get through our guys, which makes him, he'll be exposed to Nick and Eric Armstead and Ebukam and all those guys, because our secondary is more of our weakest link, So it'll be interesting. It'll be very, very interesting.
Yeah, so Tufalo says 34-27 Dallas with the upset. I don't think it's. I think the 49ers money line.
It's not going to go that high.
I don't think.
I was about to say that Dallas is going 30 points.
I got a low scoring game. Yeah, Tuflo. If the Cowboys are favored, our Cowboys are dogs by 4 here, so it would be considered an upset.
Wait, the Cowboys are favored?
No, 49ers are favored.
Oh yeah.
And with the seeding, it would be an upset if the Cowboys win. But with that being said, if you're giving – I like the 49ers money line. I don't trust Mike McCarthy. But you're giving me 4 points. I picked against the Cowboys last week, and I knew I shouldn't have. I'm not making the same mistake twice, baby. Give me the Cowboys at +4. That's right. I'm hammering home.
Just to cover, Gina. Just to cover. He still thinks the Niners are going to win.
I think the Niners probably – Mike McCarthy will do something stupid and help the 49ers win. Let's just stay here, and we'll pick out the rest of these quick games. There's the rest of these 3 games real fast, and we'll get everybody out of here. Jaguars coming off that great comeback win against the Chargers. Hey, again, Chargers gonna charger everybody.
Why didn't they fire Staley? But anyway,
they didn't. And
that's crazy.
They fired their OC, fired everybody, quarterback coach, fired everybody else,
but him.
Yeah. So, Tufalo said, "I'll be here Monday to own it. Don't worry."
I saw that.
All right, Tufalo. And he said, "It was the Chargers." So I'm not excited. I knew the Chargers. I went to bed thinking, the Chargers. I'm gonna wake up and the Chargers are gonna lose this game because that's what the Chargers do, and that's exactly what happened. But kudos to Trevor Lawrence, bouncing back. They go to Kansas City here on Saturday. The Chiefs, Gina, are 8.5 favorites. You like the Jags or you like the Chiefs? Again, Chiefs 8.5, given 8.5.
Chiefs. I'd be a fool to say otherwise.
Johnny?
Wow. I mean, I really wanted, just like last week, I wanted to pick the Jags, but I just couldn't do it, and the Jags wound up winning. I want to say the Jags are going to cover because the Chiefs never cover their spreads. I'm trying to think like Craig now, but it's not going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ride again. I'm going to ride with Gina again on this one. I think the Chiefs are determined to get that, to get back into the title game and into the Super Bowl. So I think the Chiefs handle their business, and the Cinderella story ends in Kansas City, man. Sorry,
we all picked the Chargers on last week's show, and we were all wrong. Again.
Yeah, I picked them too.
Love the Chiefs money line, but 8.5, that's high. It's a little too high. And hey, it's gonna be rocking in Arrowhead. It's gonna be crazy, but the Chiefs never cover. And I don't make the same mistake twice. I just said it. So again, give me 8.5 points. I'm taking Trevor Lawrence, baby, and the Jaguars.
Yeah, how Tanner gonna feel if the Jacksonville Jaguars pull this off, bro?
Hey, I hope they do. Rob Logan chiming in. Rob, don't lie to us. Staley's the best. Rob, I know you
coming in with a hot take.
You ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie.
We're all friends here, Rob. You ain't gonna lie. Rob was just trying to psych himself up for next year already, just trying to talk himself in. It wasn't Staley's fault. It was Joe Lombardi's fault or whoever's fault. It was everybody else's. Staley's the best. Rob wakes himself up every morning and tells himself that to get himself to believe that.
That's funny.
Let's get into the next one. The Saturday night game, later Saturday. Giants head to the Eagles. Johnny, Eagles 7.5 favorites at home. Can the Giants pull off yet another road win?
I'm gonna say no, but I think they do cover. So I'm gonna pick the Giants to cover the game, but I think Philly wins it. I just think it's gonna be too much for the Giants. It's a divisional game though, so I think it'll be close. But I don't see the Giants moving on from here. I mean, they've had a nice run. Daniel Jones has played well. Saquon's played well. Shout out to Brian Dable for the job he's done as a coach this season. But I don't know. Philly's on a mission, so I want to see Philly and San Francisco in that title game. So I think Philly wins it, but I think the Giants cover. So I'll take the Giants.
Gina, what's your thoughts here? Giants, Eagles. Eagles are 7.5 favorites.
No. I say no. I want the Giants anyway. Come through, Levi's. But I don't think
Are you really you think the Giant? You're taking the Giants? Do you like the Giants money line too, or are you really picking them to win? Or are you just that's your fan peeking through?
No, all the above, if you want to be honest. But no, Jalen coming off an injury.
So she's picking the upset.
You got the upset.
Yep.
All right.
Wow.
Money line anything. So we got some comments. So Tuflo says the only thing Staley's the best has taken preseason champion Chargers to mediocrity and failure, steep in their tradition. Hey, Tuflo, that's why we say Chargers gonna Charger, and that's what the Chargers are doing by not firing Staley. Their GM is literally doing the Charger thing by not firing him.
Absolutely. It's true though, man. That's crazy.
He says
he got the job.
Giants, Niners, and the NFC Championship game would be pretty damn cool. But he's pulling for the brother Kelsey.
I want revenge from 2012. I was at that game at Candlestick when Kyle Williams muffed it and Eli beat us.
Yeah,
motherfucker.
I think they came to Green Bay and beat us, or I don't. That
In the rain. And Kyle Williams muffed it a couple times. That piece of shit.
They've had some crazy games. Wasn't there a game 21-0? The Giants were up, or 49ers were up. What game was that?
I don't like to talk about it.
Oh, so it was the 49ers up, and they were pointing at the scoreboard, and then the Giants come back and win that game.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of PTSD.
I was going to say there's a lot of Giants in San Francisco history, so I'm sure Gina wants some revenge there.
I think Daniel Jones is coming off the best game he's ever played as a pro last Saturday.
Yeah, and Saquon
game
or
Sunday,
the man.
whatever day it was. I thought he played his best game. I mean, absolutely killed it. 7.5. I think I like the Eagles money line still, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants sneak this one out.
Right.
I mean, I'm kind of with you, Gina. I do believe that they got a chance.
They have a chance. Yeah.
Here's the thing. You look at the last two Giant runs when they went to the Super Bowl, all on the road, all very like the last team to get in, and went on a nice run to win the Super Bowl. And they beat teams. And I'm not this team is not those teams, but damn near just like them, especially the last one. A weird, dorky looking quarterback, Daniel Jones and Eli.
You're not wrong.
They have no wide receivers. I mean, absolutely none. They didn't have none the last time. Mario Mannion was the best wide receiver that they had. Again, that's who they had. Yeah. I mean, this team compares to that last team. Who they have a running back? Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs. So nice 1-2 punch. This team has a nice 1-2 punch. Matt Breida and Saquon. Hell of good defenses. That defense that won the Super Bowl last for the Giants is probably a little bit better. Really good coaching in Dayball and what's the old man's name that I'm talking about?
Tom Coughlin.
Tom Coughlin. Thanks, Johnny. So I'm going to hammer home Danny Dimes. Hey, just like Eli somehow knows how to win the playoffs, I'm giving it for the Giants, baby. At plus
I'll fly with the Eagles solo, yo. It's all good.
On Philly Island. Let's get into the last game here. It's Bengals-Bills. Bengals head to Buffalo.
This is a tough one.
I'm surprised this spread's higher than what it is. The Bills are favored at -5.5.
Wow.
Ooh. Okay. That is, see, I kind of you know what? I really don't obviously have a dog in this fight. So I'm not really sure who's going to win. If the Bills don't win, that's kind of sad.
It's not sad.
For them, it is. For them.
Sad if the Bengals lose, too.
I mean, they're still young. They're still young. The Bills think they're all that in a bag of chips.
Well, they are. They're a damn good team.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be sad if they did for them. But I'm going Bengals.
You like the Bengals money line, or you just like the Bengals points too?
You said -5 for the Bills?
Yeah. So you saying Bengals, so you're giving 5.5, but do you like who you like money line wise? Bills, Bengals.
I guess Bills.
So you got the Bills winning, but Bengals covering.
Yeah.
I might be in the same boat as Gina there. Like I said, Buffalo is my pick to make it to the Super Bowl, so I'm gonna keep riding with that. And I think I think the scare of last week was exactly what Buffalo needed to kind of wake the hell up. So I think they're gonna be ready to play. But you can't count out Joe Burrow and that team. I mean, he's a good quarterback. So, but I think Buffalo ekes it out. But 5.5 is a lot. I want to pick Cincinnati to cover. I'm gonna say Cincinnati covers, but Buffalo wins the game. So I'll pick Cincinnati to cover.
Yeah, you got the Bills winning, but you got Cincinnati covering. Nate Dogg, Tuflo, because he's a Chiefs fan, he wants to know: can they both lose?
I wish.
Hey, Tuflo, you better hope. If I'm a Chiefs fan, I'm praying to God that the Bills win. Because their daddy, they don't want their daddy, Joe Burrow, to come in. You say that. He says he wants the Bengals. I want the Bengals in the – you don't want that. You don't want that business. You don't want that. Tuflo, you can say that, and Chiefs fans can say that, but they don't really mean that. Joe Burrow's their daddy. And I got news for you, kid. Daddy's coming home to Kansas City. That's right. Daddy's coming home to Kansas City. Nate Dogg said
shout out to Nate. That's one of my moderators on my channel.
He says it's not sad. That just means the Bills lost to the Bengals.
But I hear what she's saying though. Like, this is the Bills' time. You know what I'm saying? Like they have this window here. You know
it is. You're not wrong.
They're supposed to take
because they fucked up last year.
Right. Yeah.
Fucked up.
Yeah. Because how do you go down the field?
There will be no Joe Burrow. Absolutely zero Joe Burrow bashing of Joe Burrow on this program.
No Burrow slander.
No Joe Burrow slander on this program. I am like a crazy ex-girlfriend when it comes to Joe Burrow. There will be absolutely no slander.
I Burrow.
Love that kid like he's my own child.
Oh shit! I know it's that deep.
It's real deep. It's deep.
Fuck. Hey, I mean, he's a good kid. He was actually on my fantasy last year.
I love the kid, and I think you're giving me 5.5 and Joe Burrow. I know they don't have no offensive line. I mean, he doesn't need an offensive line. He gets sacked. He doesn't even give a shit. He just gets back up, throws another touchdown to Jamar Chase, Higgins, whoever it is. I thought that for a long time the Bills were on a mission, and I still think that they could be on that mission, but I just can't. I can't pick against the Bengals. I say it every week. Bodkins, Burrow, Bengals, baby, at +5.5. I'm going to take it every time.
I love it.
Gina, before we get you out of here, where can people find you at again? And go ahead and put those plugs in.
Please find me at Gina Reppin' Bay. I'm all over social media. That's my @ And you could search me at Gina Reppin' Bay Productions on YouTube. If you can't remember that, at Gina Reppin' Bay.
Gina, we appreciate you coming on, talking about my guy Burrow and your guy Big Cock Brock.
Brock Purdy. He's pretty good. Mr. Relevant. Go Niners.
We'll see. We appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much, Gina.
Thank you so much for having me again.
Take care of yourself, Gina. Congratulations.
Thanks, Johnny. Thanks, Nick.
Hey, we'll see you.
Take care.
Oh, Nate Dogg says he is now subscribed. Hey, appreciate it, Nate. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate the love. Yo, she is awesome, bro. She is awesome to have on, bro.
Yes, hey, Tuvalo's right. Loves to see the team passion she has. Bring her back around again sometime. Yeah, the second time the lovely Miss Gina's been on. We appreciate it every time she's been coming on. Johnny, I know you got to get up early in the morning, so I'm going to let you get out of here. I'm going to finish out the show, preview you a little UFC. What do you got coming up the rest of this week?
Well, tomorrow night I'll be doing the Let's Talk Miami Dolphins. I'll recap the Buffalo game and give you some of my thoughts on a couple of the firings and what I think the Dolphins need to do to have a better season next season. But there's going to be a lot of off-season stuff for me to get into, but I'll get into the game mostly tomorrow. And then Sunday morning, I'm assuming we got the game day show Sunday morning. And then Monday night, episode 3 of the Johnny Cruz Show, 8 p.m. Monday night on Let's Talk Sports. Shout out to Dan Harris and Let's Talk Sports. My guest on Monday night will be the SoCal Ball Nerd. So he will be there with me Monday night, 8 p.m. the Johnny Cruz Show, man. Check it out.
Hey, again, John, appreciate you. I'll catch you up with you on Sunday. You get a good night's sleep. I know you got to get up at the crack of dawn tomorrow. So, hey, best wishes, my brother.
All right, bro. Appreciate you, man.
All right, I'm going to finish up this show before we get up out of here talking a little UFC 2. I put 284 on the comment on the thing, but it's actually UFC 283. We have got to finish talking about all this UFC stuff that's been going on. If you haven't heard, Jon Jones is back. That's right. The legend, the GOAT, Jon Jones is coming back. Not for this pay-per-view. He's coming back for UFC 285. March 4th or so. That's when the Jon Jones will fight. He'll be taking on Ciryl Gane for the UFC heavyweight title. Francis Ngannou, who was the UFC heavyweight champion, has now left the company. They couldn't come to a deal. Francis said, hey, I'm tired of being feeling like I'm captive. Check deuces. He's going to try to do the boxing realm and do other things. So they have now come to final agreement. We're going to see Jon Jones for the first time in 3 years in March. But we got the big UFC 283 this weekend. Couple fights we got to talk about real quick before we're going to get out of here. First of all, Carlos Condit, or not Carlos Condit. Yeah, Carlos Condit. It is his retirement fight. Or not Carlos Condit, sorry. Shogun Rua is retirement fight. You can catch that. That's actually going to be the last card on the prelim. So please check out Shogun Rua, his last fight, the legendary Shogun Rua. I'd like to see him get a win. His hometown in Brazil. Also on this card on the prelims, watch out for Terrence McKinney. Love Terrence McKinney. He's an up-and-coming lightweight fighter. Really gets after it. Puts guys lights out. Fun guy to watch. You get into the let's get into the main card here. Very fun. Not a great card, but a decent card. 2 title fights. Before we get to the 2 title fights, Paul Craig, Johnny Walker. Man, this fight could go either way. If it keeps standing, I love Johnny Walker. But Paul Craig can put people, just chokes people out in different ways. I'm going to give it to the Brazilian at home. This fight card's all in Brazil, so a lot of Brazilians on this card. I'm going to go ahead and give it to Johnny Walker at home. The next fight, we got Jessica Andrade versus Lauren Murphy. Jessica Andrade is a huge favorite, minus 500 on this card against Lauren Murphy. I wish I'd love to see Lauren Murphy win here, but Jessica Andrade there's probably there is Amanda Nunes and Chevy class up here, And Jessica Andrade is like right here. She would probably be champion if it wasn't for one of those two. So then we get into the welterweight matchup, Gilbert Burns versus Neil Magny. I love Neil Magny. Actually has the most wins of any welterweight in UFC history. Is the winningest welterweight over GSP, over Kamaru Usman. And he's taking on Gilbert Burns. I love Gilbert Burns. This guy's, again, a guy who's fought for the title. He's fought the creme de la creme of the welterweights. Neil Magny will fight anybody anytime too, but I just like Gilbert. I like Gilbert to win a decision. So lock that in. I like Gilbert Burns. Then we get, for the fourth time, this is unprecedented. 4 fighters have never fought before in the UFC history. You have Brandon Moreno, Davison Figueiredo for the flyweight title. These guys have fought 3 times. I can tell you who won 1 time. The other 2 went decisions, and both times at the end of the decision, I was like, shit, I don't know who won that fight. The first time it was Figgy and Moreno, and really, I probably would have scored that for Figgy. He got, there was like a, if I remember, it was a groin strike twice, and he got some points deducted. That's how it ended up being a very close fight. And then the second time they fight again, a few months later, Moreno chokes Figgy out, Davison Figueiredo out, and wins the flyweight title. Then they go again just last year about this time, last January at this time. David, a real close fight, back and forth. It was in Anaheim. I still don't know who won that fight. Judges scored it for Davison Figueiredo. So now we get it for the 4th time. Moreno did have a fight in between. He fought Kai Car-France for the interim flyweight title. And now we get it for the 4th time, this time in Brazil. I mean, this will be, I guarantee this is the fight of the night, folks. Fight of the night. These guys go at it, swinging. I don't know if we'll see a knockout because these boys take some shots. I am going to give the edge to, and still UFC flyweight champion of the world, Davison Figueiredo. Gonna give him the edge there. It's gonna probably go to another decision, but I'm gonna give the edge to Figgy. He is the favorite at plus 105, Moreno minus 105. Then we get into the vacant light heavyweight title. Now, if you remember, and for people who don't really follow UFC, I'm just going to give you a quick wrap up. So last month, it was supposed to be Glover Teixeira versus Yuri Prochazka in a rematch of a fight, my fight of the year that happened in February, where Yuri taps Glover in like 15 seconds left in a fight that Glover was winning. Yuri wins. So they're going to go rematch in December. Yuri gets hurt. They try to go to Glover to fight Ankalaev. He says, no, I need more time. I was prepared to fight this guy. I'll fight him in Brazil. They say, the UFC says, no, we want Ankalaev. So they do Ankalaev versus Jan Blachowicz in for the light heavyweight title last month in December. They say that fight happens. It's a draw. Nobody knows who wins. So the title's still vacant. Nobody wins the title. Before those guys get out of the cage, they already got this match set up. And now we get Glover. Thank gosh, because I felt like he should have been fighting last month for the title, that they did him wrong because he's the number 1 contender, former light heavyweight champion of the world. And then they get Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill. And you want to talk about styles make fights, folks. Glover, the ultimate ground guy. Ultimate guy that's going to tap you out. Ultimate guy that's going to take you down, grapple you, and choke you out. Versus Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill. Love both these guys. Love Glover, 45-year-old guy. Been at it a long time. Is finally at the mountaintop and can handle a lot of this stuff. And love Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill. I've been on him. This guy puts your lights out, folks. Knocks people out for a living. And if you look at him, he don't look like he's going to knock you out. But by God, he doesn't take much. And you're going, sleepy time with Jamal Hill. He'll knock you out. He's putting you. There's a reason they call him Sweet Dreams, because he's letting you have sweet dreams. So who wins? I just don't see a clear path for victory for Jamal Hill unless he somehow catches Glover. And Glover's been hit by some of the best light heavyweights in the world for a long period of time. I have to give the edge to Glover. So with that being said, I'm going to take the favorite. I don't really see a dog on this card that I really like. If I had to give a dog, it would probably be Paul Craig. If I had to say, hey, if I had to give a dog on this card, I would maybe Shogun, he's a dog at plus 175. But my lock of the night, my lock is going to be Gilbert Burns. And then back to the main event here. The winner, it's going to be a new light heavyweight champion of the world, UFC champion of the world, Glover Teixeira. I think Glover taps him out probably somewhere, I'm going to say the 4th round. That's what I'm going to say. So that's it, folks. We will hopefully talk a little bit about we'll talk the past results next week. On next week's show, we'll talk championship previews. A lot of fun. Gina, appreciate you joining the show. Johnny, as always, we'll be back next Thursday. As Johnny said, we will also be on Sunday show. Sunday night, we'll be going back to the interview style as well. We're bringing on a special guest. New York Jet fame is going to be joining the show. Never spoke with this guy before. So Jeremy Curvette will be joining the show Sunday night, 8:30 Central Time Zone. So please join us. We're going to talk all things Jets, what they should do with the quarterback position and more. Maybe talk a little bit of other things as well. So please join us then. You guys know the deal. Be a friend, tell a friend, like, subscribe, share. It's been a pleasure as always. Enjoyed everybody, all the comments, everybody's signing in. Thanks. Appreciate everything. Again, happy belated birthday to my guy, Dan Harris, super producer, background guy, godfather of Let's Talk Sports. Appreciate everything that he's done for us. We'll catch you next time right here on the Bodkin Show, folks. Be a friend, tell a friend. Have a good weekend. Watch some football. Check us out here, 8:30 Central, Sunday night. We'll see you then.